with all reason. Please just let it go. Let it go, Victor. It is impossible for you to win this war.
Watch me.
You gave him everything he wanted, and betrayed your own daughter to do it. So where is he, Mom, huh? Where's Reg? Reg!
Moving speech, really. Almost Shakespearean, wasn't it?
Okay, we are live. Bree, you on the line, girl?
Hello, everybody.
Can you hear? I can hear you now.
Hey, everybody. Hi, Soapy.
Look, Monique Abram is like, what's going on, Soap fans? Hey, Monique, welcome in, welcome in. Hello, you guys. Time for midweek fireworks, like Bree having the chat. Yeah, and she got a little bit of Ridge confronts Brooke. Luna's out of control. Amanda checks Devon. Tap to light up the chat. Yes. Hey, Melinda. Happy Wednesday. I know y'all probably like, wait a minute. It's not Friday. It's not even Saturday or Monday. Hey, Belinda. Hey, Pauline. Welcome in, you guys. I'm going to wait till a lot of you guys come in, and then I'll tell you what's going on. Bree, how many people we got in the chat so far?
Oh, my goodness. We are already at 25 people.
Yeah, wow. They see the notifications like, wait, live now? Yes, we are live now. Hey, Indigo Blue, Valerie Davis, T.A., how you guys doing? Okay, so we probably up to 30 by now, am I correct?
Yeah, well over that.
It went up?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right, so here's the deal, you guys. I know that the 4th of July normally falls on, well, it falls on the 4th, but this year it fell on a Friday. And I know a lot of you all, if not majority, is maybe spending time with family, maybe doing some traveling, maybe doing some cooking. If you guys are going to see some fireworks shows and things like that. I know I'm going to be busy from the time I get off work tomorrow until for the rest of the weekend. But I wanted to make sure that I kind of tag team up with you Soapies. We can talk about what we have seen so far. Tomorrow's episode of The Young and the Restless for the people in Canada, or if you're in the U.S. who maybe have seen the day ahead version, you know what's going on tomorrow. Okay? So we're going to kind of jump into that. I have no idea what's going to happen on Friday, but we can look at the spoilers and kind of speculate what might go on that, on the Friday 4th episode. So, yes, it's a midweek surprise. Yes, Belinda. And hit that like button on the way in, just like she said. So, I didn't want you guys to miss out on anything. And I'm like, okay, where can I fit this in? And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to do a midweek chat. Catch up with you guys. Talk about what we've seen so far. Speculate on what's going to happen. And go from there. So, it's still going to be a typical show, just a little different. TA says, yes, T, traveling to Chicago to see my in-laws for the holiday. Be safe coming here, because I'm in that area. So be safe and have a good time with the fam this weekend. Absolutely. All right. So I did not do a whole collage because normally the collage that I do for the Friday normal lives, it's a culmination of everything that's going on this week. So it would have been a little, I don't know, a few tiles here and there based on the fact that we've only seen up to Wednesday. So we can still talk about both soaps. We have no Beyond the Gates. I mean, obviously, if you enjoyed the repeats of the preemption for this week, have a good time. I couldn't do it. Once I've seen it, I can't go. I want to know what's coming up. So I'm looking forward to next week. Go ahead, Bree.
Me too. Me too. But I did have to see my Maurice Johnson
Oh
who played the original
yeah.
Ted.
Oh yeah, that's right. The OG Ted was in those first week episodes. So yes, okay, great. I can understand
Got my
that then, girl.
Yeah, I had to see him. That was the only like highlight as far as his preemption.
Right.
I was like, I need to see this man, and plus I had to clarify some things too because they were referring to Martin's kids as twins. They're not twins. They're a year apart.
Right. Yep.
So it clarified some stuff for me too.
Okay, gotcha. All right, so what we're going to do and how we're going to do it, I kind of touched on a little bit. We're just going to elaborate and kind of chat and talk about some of the stuff that's happened so far. Maybe even talk about what's happening tomorrow. I would hate to spoil it for YNR for tomorrow if you have not seen it. But, obviously this is a unique week. So, we're probably going to touch on some things. Tomorrow episode is very sad. Because we're losing a character, and yeah, it's gonna be, get your tissues ready for that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, Ta says she looking forward to BTG for next week for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Hey, Tommy
Absolutely.
Smith.
Hey Tommy, what's going on? Tommy, thank you so much for supporting the YNR Unfiltered page. You are always over there dropping comments. And you also dropping comments in the Soap Corner Talk Facebook group. I appreciate you so much. So, Bree has been putting over the last several lives the link to those other channels. Feel free to support it. I know YNR Unfiltered has been growing by leaps and bounds. So, I appreciate the support for the YNR Unfiltered channel. Okay? Alrighty. So, you know what? Without any further ado, because I know it's a Wednesday night, and some people may already have tomorrow off, or still got to work tomorrow. I want to go ahead and get started because I know it's about 8:30 almost on the East Coast.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we want to try to get some content in, and then we'll let you guys go, so you guys can either get ready for work or enjoy the rest of your holiday weekend. Hey, Janet. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad that you are happy that we're here to do the live chat. So welcome in, get comfortable and enjoy. All right, so let's go ahead and we are going to talk about let's see YNR for well, actually we started a new month yesterday. Do we have July sweeps, Bree?
Did
I
we
know we
have?
have May, but is there a July sweeps?
I honestly can't remember. I assumed we did.
I
Because
thought
was there
so
like a
too.
July sweeps for when it came for like the soap stuff?
Mm-hmm. I would think
They
so.
they keep changing. I thought they do it like quarterly, but I guess not.
Cause look, I know we have one in November. I know we have one in February, and I know we have one in May. I thought there was some mention of one being in July, but I'm not sure. So
Uh, they're not promoting it for sure. Thank you, Tommy Smith.
yeah. Oh yeah. Thank you for the super chat, Tommy. He love him some Claire and Kyle. Because that's what it is. He said, I need for Mr. Sheffield to stay away from Audra and be faithful to his nanny. Keep up their good work. I'm over Audra. Break up that couple.
Well,
The
she
Mr.
she's gonna do a
Sheffield.
good job herself.
So that he must be referring to that show with Fran Drescher.
Yeah,
Okay.
the show called The Nanny,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought it was really funny how Kyle actually he ends up getting with the nanny. That's the whole premise of the
Right.
show. But if he doesn't act right, he gonna end up losing her, and then
Mm-hmm.
he has to pay $5 million
Right.
and have to get out of town.
Right.
But
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting to say the least.
mm-hmm.
All right. Hold on one second. Let me pull up my intel for Where is it? Where is it? Oh, here we go. Okay. Alrighty. Come on, screen. Okay. So.
It was a fairly decent week of YNR, though.
Yeah, it was. This whole mystery and what Kane is up to. I am actually enjoying it. Okay.
Me too.
All right. So we're gonna start off with June 30th. On the YNR episode, looked like we had Kane ordering Holden to make strategic friends. So to make friends with like who was that? Lord, Chelsea, Adam, Claire,
And Mariah.
And I'm like,
Which
why? But they run or have attachments to companies. So Mariah is running Cassidy First for Sharon. And then I don't know why Claire, because she's up under Chancellor working with Nikki, I'm assuming. And then, of course, Newman Media. Yeah. Chelsea was shocked to see Kane in town, and Sally is going to lead Abbott if Billy takes Chancellor. Okay, so let's start there.
Yeah.
Is that the same episode? No, yesterday was the episode where Amanda handed Devon his face, but we'll get to that.
The day prior to, so this is where it gets really shocking. The fact that that Billy acknowledges Kane as his brother, and he's like drooling at the fact that he could possibly run Chancellor and take it away from Victor again. So Sally takes it upon herself to threaten this man. I say it as a threat that you better give me control of Abbott Communication if you leave me. I have no family, no fortune, no nothing to fall back on. So I put myself all into this company, and you need to give me control if you decide to go over to Chancellor. I'm like, she done lost her mind.
Yes, she has.
She ain't put not one dime.
Do you hear that train in the background? Okay, good. Okay, I want to make sure. Hey, hey, hold on. On my YouTube side, can you guys hear that train in the background? Say yes or no. Because I know that thing can be really loud. I know it's kind of drowning me out. So let me know in the chat, say yes or no if you guys can hear that train in the background. Let me see if they... Hey, cat lady. Jill said we do, and she laughing out loud.
Oh, okay.
Yes, they all can hear the train. Okay, hold on. Let me... Because that train can be really loud.
Yeah, I wasn't able to hear the train, you guys, but while she's taking care of that, that was insane. This woman didn't put not one dime into that company. That was all Jack. And on top of that is Abbott Communication. She's not an Abbott. She barely communicates effectively. This is why she's always in predicaments that she's always in. For her to make these type of threats, like holding her whole relationship over this man's head, over the possibility that he could be working with Kane. Like he can't own Abbott Communications and still work at Chancellor if the opportunity presents itself. Who does she think she is?
Well,
she done lost her mind.
The interesting thing is that all these people think that they can get to Kane, and they're not realizing, besides the fact that it's a different person. It's so funny how everybody, and it's kind of like a pun, but everybody's like, he's just a different person now. And I'm like, well, yeah, he sure is. But the way he's moving strategically. He outsmarted Victor. I'm hoping everybody realized that so far he has outsmarted Victor Newman.
Yeah. He across the pond, he's in the United States, and they were just sitting over there in Europe, just walking around the maze and asking Amanda, like, where is he? Like, oh, he's probably asleep. No, he's somewhere.
Exactly.
Like, oh, okay. This was just genius. I love this part.
Yeah, this part is amazing. And then the fact that you know what, we might as well just talk all over the place. I hate to do it because I'm connecting dots with other things that happened this week. This man is
Mm-hmm.
buying up properties, and one of them includes the athletic club.
I was shocked by that.
I
I
know,
thought
right?
I thought Victor owned that. Am I
Well,
mistaken?
I thought he owned it too, but when remember the conversation that Adam had with Chelsea, and Chelsea was like, "Well, I didn't know. Since when has it been up for sale? Or was that Victoria? One of the two." And
That was Chelsea.
that was Chelsea, and he was like, "It wasn't." So what did he do that he was able to buy the athletic club when it wasn't even up for sale in the first place?
Hoo-wee, this man had, all that tells me is this man had pockets because, and you know what, this is actually a really good investment deal personally with all them people who live at that hotel. He knows he's going to forever get his return on all those people who live there. But this is a huge power play because he can see everyone coming in and out of there. He's controlling the center point of all the people in Genoa City. That's where they all go to eat. That's where they all go to rest their head at.
Mm-hmm.
This is a huge power play. And
Yes,
he
it
had money
is.
left over still.
Yep.
So he's just buying all these properties, and he still had money left to spare to still buy Chancellor. He was also buying Chancellor stock too, that Nikki had sold for whatever reason.
Correct. The divisions that she sold off, he scooped them up.
This man is
I am, and he got the right people out of town. Because here's the interesting thing. Remember, Adam was concerned that everybody was invited to Nice except for him. And I was wondering about that too. I'm like, okay, why not Adam, But obviously, this is part of some bigger plan because remember, he wants, meaning Kane wants Holden to connect with them in Genoa City. So I'm curious to figure out this whole scheme. And the way that it look is that they're going to be there in Nice for a while. It's been what, over a week now so far, right?
since they've been Soap World, since they've been there, yeah, about
Right.
over a week.
Right.
Do you think that maybe he wants to be in an alliance with Adam and Chelsea?
I don't know. Maybe he's still thinking that there's issues between Adam and his father, and maybe he figured there's a way to break him.
I think so, because Adam, out of all people, was really interesting. So maybe I think if there was like a strategic move, he can make it seem like he was working with Adam.
Mm-hmm.
Because as far as the people over in Nice know, Kane is still over there on the property.
Right.
And Adam was the main one who came across like all of them, like all the properties are being bought up.
Mm-hmm.
So he can create a whole ally with Adam and Chelsea and make it seem like Adam was stabbing his whole family in the back.
I mean, he could flip the script on him and have everybody looking at him like, "Oh, you haven't changed. You mean tell me you was working with Kane?" But see, he didn't realize that Adam was digging.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that he communicated this to Victoria. Now, let's stop for a second and talk about that conversation because I think lightning has struck. Because imagine Victoria having a civil conversation with her brother Adam. Not Nick, Adam.
She went to him.
Exactly.
And they had a genuine conversation. He gave her like thoughts and prayers and compliments and whatnot, and she received it. It wasn't a snarky attitude or anything like that. They had a sit-down conversation. And she says, "Thank you for taking care of the family business. And by the way, I'm proud of the work you did over at Newman Media. What?
Yeah, and that our dad would be really proud of you too of what you're doing.
He
I'm
had to
like,
do a double take.
I'm sitting up there looking like, because I remember when you sent that message yesterday and you was like, have you seen, Wednesday's episode? And I'm like, not yet. And you was like, just make sure you take note of Victoria. And I'm like, okay. Girl, when I saw that episode, I was like, pigs flying?
Apparently,
Did hell freeze over?
it's a twilight zone. Ever since this new Kane came into town, it is a twilight zone. Like I was saying in the voice note, Phyllis and Sharon are friends. Billy claims Kane as his brother, which that would have never happened.
Right.
And then you got Victoria appreciative of her other brother. You would have thought Nick was the only brother that she ever had.
Exactly. Every time since that man came on the scene, whether it was Michael Muni, whether it was Justin Hartley, now that it's Mark Grossman, I don't care, whatever Adam we've had, Victoria has never been nice to this man. Even when Adam at the time was protecting her wedding from Billy. Remember that?
Yeah. She wasn't grateful at all.
She still wasn't grateful then. So this moment, yes, in today's episode, it was shocking.
Yeah. Like, he couldn't even believe it. He was like, "Are you sure this is for me?" That was my question too. I'm like, she must really not be in a good husband, but she genuinely meant it. Like, I actually believed it when she said it on screen. I was like, oh, well, this is going to be like once every 25 years.
Mm-hmm. And then, who she was nice to? Okay, because originally she was nice to Nate. You remember we saw that conversation last week, and she was like, you need to look out for Audra, and I don't want her to hurt you, and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, girl, I understand you going through a lot now with Cole, but yeah.
That's why I said the way that they were talking, because it wasn't one-sided. It was on him too. They might spin the block, and after tomorrow's episode, that might be a huge possibility.
Yeah, because it depends on how long. I'm wondering if all of this is going to end up being a summer swap with couples, because Claire is going to be in a dark place. So what we mean by that, if you have not seen the July 3rd episode of The Young and the Restless, Cole will pass away tomorrow. I'm just going to prepare you. It can be emotional for people that lose people. It could be triggering, so just be prepared, because I know sometimes when you watch TV shows, it can tap into your emotions. So
yeah, this really did. So I had to kind of speed up the episode a little bit, but it's great scene, great acting. Sorry that we're going to lose another actor on the show, but yeah, make sure you get your tissues ready.
Yeah. And I mean, it didn't surprise me that they were going to get rid of the Cole character. J. Eddie Peck, his heyday was 26, 27 years ago on The Young and the Restless. Bringing him back was a blast from the past to bring in and bridge the Claire, Baby Eve character back. But to keep him long term, I never expected that. I thought maybe he was just going to, Victoria, this ain't going to work out. I'm going to go back to teaching. But they decided to just end the character altogether, obviously. Plus, we lost quite a few characters this past 6 months or a year or whatever. And when you're bringing on new people, like we got Holden, we got Damien, we got Billy Flynn, who is now the new Kane Ashby, they're going to make room in the budget. So,
yeah.
But who knows, J. Eddie Peck, hopefully he got some more projects on the table or whatever he's gonna go into after his stint on YNR. Plus, there's no, I gotta say it, I don't wish that they, ended his character this way, but there was no chemistry to me with him and Victoria. I honestly would have saw him better with Ashley Abbott,
Yeah.
but they only hinted at it one time, and then that was it.
Yeah, because if anyone's seen like old clips before, because it's hard to find like the old YNR episodes now, but the two actors who played Cole and Ashley, they had incredible chemistry. They were actually married. The characters were married, and I always liked them together more than him and Victoria anyway. But you're 100% correct. Like, they could have did something completely different with the character, but for them to unalive them,
Yeah.
yeah. But
I
I
guess
think it was a great scene, though.
I guess they, and especially with Claire, I mean, I would have rather for him and Victoria not to work out and he go back to teaching at Oxford, right? Claire would have still had her dad, you know what I mean? And maybe he'll come up in conversation like, oh, I talked to dad. He's doing fine over in Europe. I'm going to go see him. No, the girl only had him for a good year and you ended the character. I ain't too happy about that. Even if they don't want J.D. Peck back or the character back, they didn't have to end it, especially since Claire only got to be with her dad a year or a year and a half.
Yeah. Yeah, so she had to witness Aunt Jordan go away, and now her dad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's a bit much in less than a year.
And
But
why create a romance with Victoria only for her to lose somebody else? She lost the other guy with, I mean, obvious,
Ashton Locke.
right, with Nick bashing him upside the head or whatever he did with that thing. And it's like, this girl, she can't keep a man herself or they are gone. So,
Yep. That's why they go ahead and kind of prepare her to go to the next man. That's exactly what they did with Nate.
mm-hmm. Do you think that they're going to go down that route?
Absolutely. The fact that it wasn't a couple of weeks ago, Nate was saying that he wants nothing to do with the Newmans. You can't trust the Newmans. He was still very salty about what had happened, but no more than Lily, of course. But for him to have to sit down with Victoria and say, like, all is forgiven. I want the best for all the Newmans. I'm like, okay. Know what direction they're going to go into. And the fact that
exactly.
Yeah. And the fact that she brought up Audra, like, they talked about everything but Cole, really. Like, she talked about him going back to being a doctor, his bedside manner, and how friendly he is, and all these different things. I understand she's trying to take her mind off of what's going on, but there was more. It's clear to me what direction they're going to go in.
I agree with that. I absolutely agree with that. I just wish they had went a different route with the Cole thing. Just send him off into the sunset, and not that way, but where he's teaching and Claire still had her dad. But I honestly think that there's going to be some fallout with him, with the whole sorrow and grief of it all, because Kyle is still nowhere around. Claire has not heard from him, obviously, because of what Dumas is doing or Kane is doing. But she's going to need somebody to turn to. And there's Holden.
Conveniently, and he's just making his rounds. He screwed up in tomorrow's episode.
Yeah, I heard, he screwed up big time because Chelsea can sniff out a con, so. Yeah.
And she was definitely giving Kane a third degree.
I know. Oh, Lord Jesus. Because the thing is, the conversation that the two of them had, her and Adam is like, yeah, something don't. But see, why would you even let on? I think that was not a smart move on Kane's behalf. Just act normal. Yeah, I'm coming in to see Lily. I'm not going to be here long. I just want to stop in. I found out that she was out of town. So I'll just catch up with her later. He goes into this whole cryptic, cocky message because you can see the arrogance on his face in that moment where he's like, yeah, I know Aristotle Dumont very well. And I'm like, dude, do you want to keep moving like stealth through the town, or do you want to drop hints where the con artist herself can figure out?
Yeah, I was kind of lost in that part, but at the same time, he knew, like, as soon as Chelsea saw him, that's kind of like a ripple effect. Eventually, everyone's going to know that he was in town, so he might as well just kind of come clean to at least somebody. And I don't think that he would be dumb enough to think that he can go to General City and no one recognize him. It just so happened to be Chelsea. He got most of the people, all the power players who knew him over at his house.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a likelihood that he could run into Chelsea, or whoever was left there, like even Esther or whoever.
But okay, so look at it like this, Bree. At the beginning of their first interaction, it was just like, "Oh my God, I haven't seen you in a while" type of conversation. He made it suspicious by what he said. And so if he had kept it light, because if you're going to try to move through town and buy up businesses and you want to just meet up with Holden, first of all, don't meet up at Crimson Lights. That was dumb.
Yeah.
Meet up at Holden's apartment or wherever he's staying, right? Or you got money, rent out an office or a private spot where he can come and see you. But
Or
go ahead.
he had the whole athletic cup.
Right. Well, or he could have showed up over there. Exactly. However, the other thing is him dropping those cryptic messages. Those are what sent red flags to Chelsea to have her on alert to tell Adam about some of the stuff he said and how he was acting. And you say you come here to look for Lily and now you got to fly back out of town. He didn't give me an answer about how he know Aristotle. So I'm like, dude, why would you drop those kind of nuggets? You know they're going to be suspicious. Now, unless this is part of a bigger plan. Now, if he just sloppily and was arrogant enough to drop those gems, then you stupid for letting people see your hand. But if this is part of a bigger plan, then I would be open to seeing why he did what he did.
I think this is part of a bigger plan.
Okay.
Because with the conversation that he had with Holden, he said he's been incredibly strategic about any and every move that he's made.
Mm-hmm.
I think he, in a way, kind of lucked out when he ran into Chelsea. He knows that she works in Newman Media.
Mm-hmm.
He is wanting to make his presence known. So the likelihood of them putting a story out saying, hey, Aristotle Dumont is Kane Ashby, he's going to want that out there. And I don't think Adam randomly came across that information. I think whoever Dumont is working with slowly is feeding Adam, letting him know that, hey, someone's buying these sort of properties. Mm-hmm. And on top of that, he wanted Holden to be in the loop and get to know Adam and Chelsea. I feel like he's playing these chess pieces. So it's hard to see his grandmaster plan until everyone is back. Mm-hmm. But I see that he's feeding the right people the right information, is from what I can look at it. Okay. The person who works for the media company, someone that he knows is familiar to him and he knows that she sees right through the BS. and he
Gotcha.
wants her to.
Gotcha. Well, it's going to be interesting, especially with, now Adam is getting ready to head off to Nice to find, you know, from what I remember, I only saw a certain part. So was Adam, did I miss something with Adam in tomorrow's episode or no?
No.
Okay.
So when he was in the office for today's episode, he said he told Chelsea he's gonna fly
So
out to
Nice,
Nice.
right.
And then, well, spoiler for tomorrow's episode, he's actually going to go, but he has a sit-down dinner with Chelsea first
Okay.
at Society, and that's where she runs into Holden, and he puts his foot in his mouth. So he's already made a decision that he's going to go, and Chelsea, of all people, is going to be in charge of Newman Media and Newman Enterprises.
Oh my God! I'm wondering what I'm wondering what Victor gonna think about that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm wondering if Victor is gonna be pissed about that, because Victor is like, yeah, you come all the way over here, but you left my. If that's going on in town, I'm gonna be all right over here. You could have stayed back in Genoa City to manage all of that. I don't know if Victor's going to be so happy with him coming to try to save him or let him know what's going on. It's like, dude, you come all the way to tell me what's going on, but you left the company without a leadership. And Victoria right now is in shambles.
But I think it might also be a good thing, too, because Victor will also get to see through the BS that Kane was lying about the storms and everything, because how else would Adam be able to get up there to them?
Girl, all
if the
he could
roads were so
probably.
bad?
Here's the thing. They've been there for a while. That storm was a few days ago. All Kane has to say, I was just about to tell y'all, they finally cleared up. That's how he got in. I mean,
Because what could they do? And
yeah, I
probably
mean,
leave with
what
Adam.
you can't prove otherwise. Oh, how was I able to get in? Well, I was just about to tell you guys, you're free to go because the roads are this, that, and the third. Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is I love the fact that they brought this version of Kane, because this is a whole power player. He wants to play the game.
Yeah, you do, girl. This is gonna be interesting.
And a side note, Chelsea and this new Kane, they look really good together. They had good chemistry. I didn't mind it.
I'm wondering. Well, I don't know if we'll go there because they could try that, but the thing is that they just put those two together after a whole cheating scandal on Billy and Sally. But yeah, anyway, I wanted to go back right quick before we talk about Amanda and Devon with this whole thing with Billy and Sally, because you talked about it and whatnot, and she kind of threatened the man, like, listen, if you're gonna go after this, you better, I want my piece of the pie. And like you said, you didn't put nothing into this. You came over there because your boyfriend asked you to be CEO. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but here's the interesting thing, Bree, about that. How long have we been saying Sally has nothing to do and all her other businesses were failing or they didn't go through? Remember, she started the interior design and then she had another business until she finally decided to work for Marchetti, and now all of a sudden you really truly want to run a business.
All her decisions were her own. And she has no one else to blame but herself. She was crying about the interior design and said, like, oh, I want to go back to fashion. That was my dream. That was my everything. And you get with this man. You haven't been with this man no longer than 6 months, give or take. And this man tells you that he would like for you to come over there and work with him. And you're like, okay, you chose to give up your career. You knew better than anybody that you didn't have like a family, fortune, or anything like that. I guess no money in the bank or whatever, that's going straight to the hotel. You knew all this. And you, on top of that, she knew Billy's true intentions too. She knew from the get-go that he was still trying to get information regarding Chancellor, and regardless what lie he told her, she knew all this in the back of her head.
Yep.
So you still jump ship, go to Abbey Communications, and now you're making these threats to this man, saying like, I want a piece of the pie. I went all in with everything. Come on now.
Right.
No,
like, girl,
Jack
please.
went all in.
Exactly. That was Jack's funding that he gave to his brother to start a business. So, but again, Billy think he's going to be that close to Kane. I understand him. I respect him. He's my brother. I think that he got another thing coming. I don't think it's going to be as easy to deal with Kane like he think it is.
Nope. At all. That's why when he said, that's my brother, we fought over women, we fight over jobs. I'm like, okay.
Like,
I mean,
whatever.
I'm like, okay, sir, whatever floats your boat, but I guess.
You say, I guess.
That's gonna blow up in this man's face.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's gonna keep his company. He's still gonna be running Avid Communications. This whole little blow up with him and Sally, that I'm like, girl, sit down. You are nobody's wife to be making these threats, for one. You can put a dime into the company, for two, and three, you're still you. You're gonna flip flop and go to the next man, the next rich man after this.
Right.
Because that's what you do.
Exactly. All right, we got to talk about the conversation with Amanda and Devon. Devon get on my nerves.
What is he mad about?
Well, I mean, to me, what got on my nerves is his entitlement.
Right.
And he want to be all hotsy-totsy and mad and stuff. And I'm like, dude, you do realize you the one betrayed her. She don't owe you a thing.
Nada. Nothing. This is a free vacation, like she said. Like, all, like, when Kane wants to speak to you and let you know what's going on, he'll tell you.
Exactly.
And like she was saying, like, even if I did know, what loyalties should I have to you, given what you did to me?
Exactly. I don't owe you nada. And he's sitting up there. Then he gonna try to say, he flipped the script and try to say, well, I'm looking out for you. What if he end up betraying you and you get hurt in the process? Oh, now you care about her. So at first you went for trying to be entitled, like she owed you something, and then when that didn't work, then you decide to be like, oh, I'm looking out for you. Man, if you don't get out of here.
Yeah, like you didn't care about her when you had Abby up against the wall on the piano.
That's what I said, girl.
On the couch, but you're so concerned about poor little Miss Amanda. This is the same woman, this intelligent woman, who you guys hired, by the way. So clearly she's not dumb. She can read through these things. And she's telling you guys to just sit and just chill out. You guys are okay.
Yep.
He's not entitled. He's at the bottom of the totem pole as far as need to know information.
Right.
Like, why was he even there? Why was he invited there? Why?
She said, why are you even here?
That was my initial thought. I'm like, just enjoy the free food. You're in a different city. He's more griping about like, well, how come he's not sharing anything? Like, what's his next move? I'm like, it's need to know. You're okay. He already told you guys. Amanda even told you he wants nothing to do with Winters. So you're good.
Yeah, girl. I'm like,
and not even a thought.
Girl, wait a minute. And then did you see when Devon went back to bed? And so when Devon said, well, I actually had a drink with Amanda, she had the nerve to get jealous, talking about, should I be worried? I'm like, Abby, did you just say that?
I wonder if she's so worried because how she got him is how she could lose him.
Yeah, I couldn't believe, girl, I was sitting up there like, did she just say what I think she said? You got the nerve to be jealous of a drink between the two of them. And he had to reassure her, look, it was nothing but business. I was trying to find out more information about Dumas. Yeah, she got the nerve to get jealous and worried that, oh, something gonna happen between the two of you. Why you worried? Yeah, like you said, Bree.
Because that's how she gets all of her men, to be honest. She cheats with them and they cheat on her. And that's how she loses them.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Monique.
What'd she say?
She sent a super chat.
Oh, let me see.
Thank you for the super chat. She
Oh,
said,
wow. Go ahead, read it.
Thank you. She said, Sally and Phyllis have something in common. Once you run a division they didn't contribute to. Devon is getting on my nerves. He really thinks that after what he did, he expects loyalty. Oh,
right. He expects this girl to be Team Devon after what just happened. She walked in on you on the couch in the apartment or the condo that you share. And you expect loyalty?
Yeah, he can kick rocks.
Help me understand that, sir.
And in Genoa City, she came there out of the courtesy and good faith that, hey, Aerosol Dumas wants nothing to do with you guys. He respects you guys. Well, I demand you give me a meeting with this man. Excuse you?
Right.
And now the roles have flipped, and now you have to sit there and chill. And when we decide to feed you information is when we decide to do it. So sit there. I love that whole interaction. Amanda got him together. Loved it.
Mm-hmm. Yes, she did. I was like, yeah. She handed him in his face, and he's standing up there looking crazy. I'm like, what did you expect? You and your sister need to go take several seats because there was another conversation that happened earlier this week, I think Monday, with Sharon, Nick, and Damien and her.
Yeah. And this woman keeps saying, I'm not going to leave until I get information about what he's trying to do next. I'm like, girl, this man was trying to have conversations with you prior to him leaving.
Right.
All he wants to do is talk to you. You would have got all the information by now. You would have been the most informed person, more than Amanda, as far as what this man's plans were.
Right.
But you want to sit there with an attitude and say, like, I'm so tired and sick and tired of lies. How do we know that he got his fortune a legitimate way? Well, you could have had a conversation with this man.
Yeah, if you sit down and stop talking so much long enough, maybe he can tell you. But she don't want. I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand what the problem is. You don't even know whether this man had criminal activity. You just assuming it.
And I think she said the funniest thing. Like a man who had a legitimate business wouldn't have to lie behind an alias. So Victor Newman is who to you then?
They all were sitting at that table talking about the creepy things that Kane was doing. And I'm like, do y'all know Victor Newman?
And Victor's not even his real name.
The man has done worse.
Yes, even to his own children. But you respect this man. You trust this man.
Yeah, I can't.
And she's so gung-ho and saying, like, he was associated with Colin. There's no telling what him and Colin have done. And, like, how can I trust them? I'm like, this is the same Kane. And she keeps bringing up the fact that Colin took billions from Devon. Kane was the same person who helped get Devon his billions back.
That's the difference with Beyond the Gates and show like Y&R. Nobody claps back with the truth on anything. If this was Cat would have clapped back at that table.
Mm-hmm. This makes absolutely no sense. And she knows that. Devon even knows that. Devon would have been penniless, sitting on the street, playing music or something, if it wasn't for Kane helping him get his billions back.
And nobody's saying anything about that.
No one says anything about that. And I'm like, before Kane left 6 years ago, him and Lily were on good terms. Because, like, she decided to divorce him while she was in prison. She was trying to release him from that. But prior to her going to jail, she was accepting of his other child, Sam, which I'm surprised they have yet to mention him.
Yeah, I don't know. It's almost like they like to rewrite history. It's like, can we stay on the same trajectory? Now, I get it if you want to switch up him being a billionaire. Okay, but you make it look like they left on bad terms. Y'all give us this stupid flashback about them arguing, saying that, I'm going to keep the kids from you and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, and then you got Devon talking about how criminal activity and all this stuff. Like you just said, Bree, he gave the fortune back.
Yes. Helped her get it back. So her issue is the fact that he wanted to have a relationship with his own father. And then for that, she doesn't want Kane to spend time with his own children.
Right.
I'm like, sweetie, your hands are not clean yourself. You were just in prison.
Mm-hmm.
You are far from innocent. Neither is your brother. Neither is your precious Victor Newman of all people. You don't want to give this man the benefit of the doubt. And this man keeps trying to have a conversation and let her know what's going on.
Right.
And here's the other thing. Amanda even told her Colin's unalive. Oh, how do we know that? Really?
Ooh.
I'm like, Kane, you want that?
Right. You want that back.
Throw that back.
I mean, even Damien, I'm like, dude, you are simping too hard for this girl. She could care less about you over the past 6 months. She was using you to try to get what she needed to get and the information that she wanted. And you get all the way to Nice. She used you to try to make her ex jealous. And you like, yeah, okay, do it again.
Yeah, he didn't lost his mind.
Big goofy.
And it's not sexy at all. It's not attractive at all.
That's why I said big goofy.
Just straight goofy. I'm like, sir, she didn't want you when you came into town, and she's really not going to want you now that she's using you as a pawn to make Kane think that she's moved on.
Right.
You believe the lie that she told you, saying that she was thinking about kissing you this whole time. Lies.
Just all lies.
Like, whatever floats your boat, sir, I guess.
What you said?
But I'm like,
whatever.
Like, I get that she's very beautiful. I get it. But she's also dumb at the same time. I'm like, Kane, you want that back?
Girl, she's annoying.
Like, you're a whole billionaire. Throw that back in the water, same way Daniel did, same way Billy did.
Girl,
I'm just saying.
She's annoying.
Like, just let her be the unalive fish in the water or something, and let her just be miserable. I'm like, it's not even her money to be worried about.
And your kids are set. I don't understand. Life. Your children are set, and you want them to stay away from their father.
And she knows that this man's trying to go after Chancellor. What do you think he wants to go after Chancellor for, honey? Why?
She said why?
Sometimes I want to just reach the TV screen and Like, that's how much, like, Lily has annoyed me just throughout this year, even last year. Like, we can't get a break from this girl's, like, irrationality sometimes.
Nope.
I'm like, goodness gracious. Like, her trying to sue Daniel for cheating.
Yeah, she wanted to sue that man for cheating, girl.
And her fighting tooth and nail for Chancellor, and that's not even her family's company. Everyone said, like, go ahead and go to Winters. Pretty much, like, pick whatever position you want. Have no worries. No, I want it. I want my position I earned at Chancellor. Somebody else's family's company.
Right.
She has been irrational for well over a year now.
Mm-hmm. Just a loose cannon.
I'm like, okay, Kane, you want that back? Okay, good luck. That's a hard pill to swallow. Just saying.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Did we cover everything else so far this week? What do you speculate? Let me look at the Friday spoilers. You got the Friday spoilers?
No, I haven't checked them out. I was going to say when it came to Mariah and Tessa, I know that's going to be tomorrow's episode. I think Mariah unalived whoever she slept with. I think she was drunk and had a moment and maybe thought it was in, and I think she unalived somebody. I think that's what it is, but I can't believe she moved out of the house.
Dang, she's just like, I'm out. I want to be out.
That was insane. I'm like, if it's that deep, then maybe you should listen to your mother and go see a therapist.
Yeah, probably so.
Yeah, but I don't know, that's all I have right now. But it was a fairly decent week, and we had Phyllis lurking in the background.
Girl.
She was quiet. I was like, whoa. She didn't make her presence
There's
known.
a lot of spoilers out there about her. In regards to her having a new love and, all that stuff. Did you hear about all that?
I have. And if it's with Billy Flynn, I would like, I guess I would need to be sold more. I want her to have a man.
Mm-hmm.
She's been without a man for a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
Writers. A couple of years now. So I would be all for it. And here's the thing. I don't think she'll ever run Chancellor. Mm-hmm. But since he bought the athletic club, I think that's going to be her new job.
You think so? Is she going to run the place? Well, she ran a hotel before.
Exactly.
She ran a hotel before.
She'll be his eyes and ears. She'll have a permanent place, probably not to pay any rent, but she gets to up and decide who gets to come there, who gets to stay there. Like, and she loves to run her mouth. That would be the perfect person to run GCAC.
I agree. Who knows? That would be interesting. And then you saying you think she would make a good fit with the new Kane?
I would need to see more scenes. I like the little interaction. I will say that little flashback with Crystal Khalil and Billy Flynn, that was adorable. I was sold on them.
So I have a feeling that they're going to end up eventually back together. And that's why Damien is a fool. Because with her trying to kiss him to make her jealous, it's something about that is more than just her just trying to make him mad. Why would you kiss? Anytime you see a woman do that, why are you trying to make him jealous? Why?
Exactly. Try to get over the feels of whatever that man has said. But I have a question. Was Monday's episode where he was talking to Audra too?
Damien, yes.
Yeah,
put her on notice.
That was a great scene. I was proud of that too. For standing up for his brother. Because because that's definitely going to blow up in her face. I'm like, ooh, Lord, have mercy. I think she'll still keep her company, but I don't think she'll keep her relationship, though. I think that's why they went ahead and put Nate over with Victoria, or at least starting to kind of have them spin the block a little bit. But I think that's all I got for right now.
All right. How many people in the chat, girl?
Let's see. Let me refresh it. We got 95 in the chat. It's been really steady.
Nice. All righty. I hope you guys are enjoying the live so far. Make sure you hit that like button. Also, Bree has been periodically putting in the links to the other channels, Wire and Unfiltered, Shade and Beautiful. Thank you so much for supporting those other channels. Also supporting the Soap Corner Talk Facebook group. Even the videos of the recaps of the Bold and the Beautiful on this channel, and all of the other platforms as well. All right, let us now move into none other than the Bold and the Beautiful. And pretty much over the last several days, and I know Bree, you was telling me that maybe there was a little bit of a leak on tomorrow's episode. I don't know if people have seen that at all, but I do want to say that it's been a lot about Luna this week and this proposal that the aftermath of the proposal that Taylor did to Ridge. So
yeah, that's this is typically how Bold is. It's usually one or two storylines at the same time. And I apologize in advance if you guys hear thunder.
It's storming down there, girl.
Yeah, it's hurricane season. It's gonna be raining all week over here in Orlando, at least. But so if you hear thunder, lightning, I apologize, y'all.
Oh my gosh, girl.
Yeah. Yes. Starting 4th of July with a bang. But speaking of which, the fact that I'm glad we're getting scenes with Luna, and I just don't like how sometimes you have all these characters so wrapped around one particular storyline, and it doesn't leave any room for any other character development. It's I don't know. I'm here for it. I love Luna. I love the scenes and everything, but it's literally like they have 1.5 storylines that they talk about now. Maybe that's just me. I don't know how you guys feel. T, I don't know how you guys feel.
I didn't get used to it. It's usually because think about it. The show is only half an hour. With BTG being an hour, it's multiple storylines and many moving parts over there, which keeps us interested because it's always shifting to something else. Young and the Restless, they have storylines, but right now, we're focused on the situation with, they got 3 things. They got the Cole thing, they got the Mariah thing, and they got the Dumas thing. All right. But Bold, I don't know if it's because it's a half an hour show or something, that it seems that they can only focus on one thing at a time. Maybe a half.
It used to never be like that. I don't know if anyone watches Bold on YouTube. They'll post several different seasons of the show. If you go back and you look at those older episodes, they had at least 4 or 5 different storylines at a time. Brooke was in at least 3 different storylines, and then you had Bridget in 2 different storylines. It was, you get a mix of different things. There was character development, there were things that were moving and shaking, and I don't know. I understand that they want to try to hone in on certain particular storylines. I get that. But it's like a stall for me, because I'm happened to Zende. They brought Daphne back for like a brief second, saying they're going to start a whole perfume line, and they stopped that. And we haven't seen Carter and Hope, and I'm glad for it. But still, I mean, they're engaged. Like there's this different things that could be going on, and I don't want to ramble on, you guys, but that's just how I feel about Bold right now.
Yeah, I agree with you on that, Bree. They just get focused on one thing, and it's like, okay, let's hone in on this, and it's like you do realize that you got other people on standby, you know. But
Yeah.
either way, the biggest thing this week, we might as well start with the smallest of the two, is this whole proposal. Nick ran back and told Brooke that about the engagement and all of that, and so she up in there crying like a sad little puppy. And Ridge they announced it to Eric, and Eric had to put on that fake face. I'm like, dude, you know you don't want Taylor with Ridge. Stop it.
Yeah. And he said, like, oh, you've always been a part of this family, and congratulations, blah 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 blah. I'm like, sir, you don't mean that.
Exactly. It's like they say, stop the cap.
Yeah, he couldn't even be honest. Couldn't even be honest with Taylor when she asked him point blank, did he want his son to be with Brooke?
Mm-hmm.
He just stuck on stupid, and he just took the exit.
Right.
She asked you point blank, so she knows you generally don't mean that. She even told Ridge that.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I'm sitting up there looking at Eric like, I'm like,
Yeah, I'm like.
So then Ridge had to go and say, well, look, if Brooke need to hear from anybody, need to come from me. Now, what was interesting is that she told him to end the engagement. I'm like, now, granted, do I think those two are probably going to end up together somewhere down the line or in the next couple months, possibly? Probably.
Yeah.
But for her to think, like, I'm going to need you to go and end that engagement right now. And I'm thinking, like, really?
Who are you?
Exactly.
Like, if he wanted you back, he had months to do that.
Sure did.
So he said he liked where he's at right now. He's not trying to play hopscotch right now. He's long in the tooth, that he accepted that. He's going to stick with who he got.
You are correct. And it's just interesting, his response, because I thought he said, I'll always love you, blah, blah, blah. But then it was the way he said it to Brooke. He was like, this is the end. I'm over it. So I thought maybe, how long is Jack Wagner supposed to be in town? Is it just a stint?
I heard two different things. I heard it was just a stint for this thing, and when they go over to Italy, I heard that he's making 2 appearances for this stint all the way to Italy, and then they said he's coming back, I guess, in the fall.
Okay.
Because he's filming the other show. So I guess there was a conflict with that, but he said that I guess he's coming back. Anything is subject to change, but I guess he's not going anywhere.
Okay. So I'm curious to find out. I mean, aren't they supposed to go to Rome or something?
Yeah, going to Italy. I thought that was they filmed it. They showed pictures of that, so I figured that was coming up this week when when Rich was talking about like the orders and the fabric or something to try to get that set up for that. But I don't know. But I think Nick is going to be on for at least a little while. But even still, Brooke shouldn't even want Rich like that. If this man is telling you to your face, look, Taylor's my future, what we had is done and over with, and this man could have came back to you and he chose not to do it. Girl, why are you still crying over this man?
Exactly.
I mean, this man has gotten the best of your youth at this point. Years out of you.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Monique.
Let me see. Yeah, he definitely got her. Mm.
Yeah. Monique sent another super chat
Okay.
while we were talking. She said,
Said,
Lily wants. Oh, go ahead.
no, she was gonna say thank you for the super chat, Monique. Lily wants Kane to be what she wants him to be. She wants perfection. She didn't get that with Billy. What makes her think that Kane will be any different? Thank you for the super chat.
She's not perfect herself while she's talking.
Oh God.
Lily lost all of her marbles.
All of them.
She can't expect no perfection while she was in prison.
Girl, again, she need to take several seats. Several. I mean, yeah. Well, she'll definitely get one from us.
Yeah.
She'll definitely get one. She'll definitely get one from us.
Oh, thank you, Melissa. She said they shot the episodes in Capri and Naples, Italy. They're supposed to air July 28th, but will probably start the 29th or the 30th because of the preemptions. Okay.
Gotcha.
So they'll be in Italy towards the end of the month. I knew it was coming up soon, but Jack Wagner's making a quick stint, and I guess he's coming back as far as the information I had.
Okay. Gotcha. Alrighty. Let's keep it moving. So, I was wondering. I honestly believe that those two are eventually gonna get back together. It was so interesting with that origami thing that Hayes had, that when Taylor got a hold to it and she did her little switch, her thing, it showed her heartbreak. Did you notice that?
Yeah. Because I was like, I had to go back to that scene. I'm like, did she pick the numbers or did Steffi's? I'm like,
no, Taylor picked those numbers and it landed her right on heartbreak. And I'm like, is that symbolizing something?
I was like, ooh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, goodness. And I hate that for Taylor. I really do. I do. Because I want both of these ladies to move on past Ridge at this point. I don't know if there's anyone in the chat that want to see Ridge and Taylor together or Ridge and Brooke together at this point. But
right.
These women should know better by now.
You would think. But, yeah, that was too funny. So now let's talk about Lunatic Luna.
Hoo-wee. She let Will go. I was shocked.
Yeah, I mean, she really would have pretty much sealed her fate by going to prison if she shot that boy. Right now, it's still open because of the fact that it looks like it could be self-defense in so many words. It's entrapment, right? And I think that's how, what is it? Because you're supposed to, I don't know. It's something about that entrapment thing that it has to be done the right way or else it can fall apart in court, right? And then she let him, she really didn't say what she was going to do to Steffi. All she said that she's going to, what was the term she used?
Deal with her or
she's
get rid of her?
Get rid of her. That could mean anything. Sent her off to international. Set up a way for her to get sent off out of town. Who knows? And that's why Baker didn't go with it, because it was like, yeah, we need more than that. It'd be different if she said, I'm going to take this and blow her brains out. Then, okay, then yeah.
Exactly. And this was the stupid, sting operation I've ever seen. Why did they have Will do this and not Finn? I was so upset in the group chat because I'm like,
Oh, I got some stuff to say about that man, but go home. Go ahead.
yeah, the Will shouldn't even be remotely a part of this whole thing because she really could have unalived him if she wanted to.
That's
She
why
could
I
have.
agree with Katie when she said that.
Girl, I was on Katie's side, and that's rare.
Right.
Because she'd be wrong most of the time. But if this were my son, I would feel a lot of ways about him. For one, being a part of this sting operation, and for one, risking his life for other people, especially as other people that's not even his family.
Right.
I love the fact that she said, "Hey, Steffi is you don't owe nothing to Steffi."
Yep.
And then he said, "I did this for Electra."
That
Quiet
don't
as
make
it's
it
kept.
better.
No, that's your little girlfriend. That's not your wife.
Right.
Two different things.
By the end of the summer, y'all could have broke up.
Exactly. No. I was completely on Katie's side. I would say the same thing to my son. I wanted her to say that to his face about Electra too. That is your girlfriend. That's not your wife. She looked like she wanted to say something. Because Electra said like, "Oh, I had a problem with him kissing her," and blah 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 blah. And she's like, and so." I couldn't do that. I would have lost my son over all of this. It has nothing to do with this.
That's a Steffi issue.
And exactly what Katie said. That's their issue. That's their problem.
And this boy said up there and said, "Yeah, well, I hear you, Mom, but I'm going to make sure I try to stop her." I'm like, okay, so you ain't heard nothing your mama just said. She told you to go somewhere and sit down. That's what she told you to do.
Exactly. This boy knows better. And that's her only child. So yeah, I would feel very strongly, same way my son is my only child.
Yeah.
I would feel strongly about him even participating in any of this.
Yeah, that's crazy. I'm sitting up there like, it ain't that serious. I mean, and the thing is, they threw that whole thing together anyway, because we left one week and came back. They all sitting around talking about trying to trap Luna. I'm like, how did Will get involved in this sting operation?
It was so stupid.
It was dumb.
Oh, thank you, Mirror.
Let me see.
He sent a
Oh, Mari. Hi, Mari. Happy 4th weekend. Everybody stay safe. You too. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you. But Luna, I'm telling you, Lisa Yamada is cooking. I just hate. Now, we did see that leaked script. I hope that's real. You know what I mean? That
was from Catherine Kelly.
Right.
Page.
And so, with Luna being there even in the September episodes, right? I'm like, okay, so is she going to be on the run for the next 2 months? Or are they going to redeem her, or what?
So, at this point, she's already boxed into a corner. The only way they can keep this character along is if they do redeem her. How is a great question.
Only thing I can think of is a health situation.
And that would explain why, from that little screenshot of that script, you saw Lee was also a part of that episode 2. Because I think it was like Brooke, Taylor Ridge, and then Katie and Will, and it was also Luna and Lee for that particular episode. So I can see Luna. It would have to be a medical miracle. Like maybe she is Liam's medical miracle for all we know. Who knows?
Either if that's the case, just let's just play around with that a little bit. If it is a situation that Luna can help somebody, it's more than likely either Finn or Hayes. because she's related to both of them.
Yeah, right. That's true. Something would have to be like a medical miracle that she can help with. Same way Felon Flo was able to get forgiveness because she helped out Katie by giving her kidney or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that would be the only way that Luna would be able to get some form of redemption, especially with all the things that she's done. But I will say, even though they've written this character in a corner, the actress she plays a bad girl, a villain, so incredibly well.
Yes, she does.
Like the looks, the facial expressions, like the like, I don't care attitude. Like this is so good. So good. I'm glad they're keeping this actress on because they definitely need a villain for the show, and she fits it so perfectly well.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I wish they would keep her around. I wish they had did this whole thing differently. Now, I would hate to call this a flip the script moment, but I just got to say this because it was on my mind the last couple days. I would have loved it where, even though we know what happened with the whole caging situation, right? I would have had her more pissed instead of at Steffi at her father.
Right.
So
I would love for her father to be more involved with this storyline.
Well, here's my thing. I would have rather had her, kind of say, you know what? I apologize for everything that I did. I'm not even mad at Steffi because I did some horrible things to her. But Dad, you one dropped this in my lap, and then you just left me out to high and dry. Now I understand that's your wife and all, but something, you know what I'm saying? But she's making it about Steffi. Well, the way it's written is made about Steffi keeping him from her. He needs to own some accountabilities. Like, listen, you a grown man. These are your choices. This is your kid.
Yeah. Exactly.
And she's running amok because you're choosing not to figure this situation out. You just going with what your wife is saying.
And it took him months? And this is my issue I have with Finn. Everyone has known this girl's been pardoned for months, and you were trying to say that you're trying to protect your family with that. About 2 weeks ago, and you could have had restraining orders, you could have had security, you could have had all these different things to protect your quote unquote family from this girl. And he was perfectly fine with Will stepping in to do the sting operation to try to get information about his own daughter.
Yep.
He could have stepped in the line of fire since this has to do with his family. And if he wanted to entrap his daughter, he probably would have got more headway than Will has.
Yeah, you know what? You're right, Bree.
Because that's the man that she wants to talk to. That's the man that she keeps crying about, thinking about. She wants to see her dad. He could have went there instead of Will and probably got more information than Will.
I honestly believe this situation is out of control because, number one, he doesn't have the gall to tell, not only say, okay, listen, I understand that you mad or whatnot. What is Steffi going to do? Divorce him? I mean, what is he so afraid of?
I'm like, look, if she divorces you, she divorces you. But she really, like, if she wanted to, she could have done that when she found out that Sheila was his mother.
Exactly. I can't.
But
yeah. Ooh.
She's still sticking around throughout this whole thing. And on top of that, she's the main one who's saying, like, Luna is dangerous, but no one has taken any precautions since that girl was pardoned.
Yeah, it just doesn't. I don't like the fact that he is just totally spineless.
He was completely spineless. Will, this boy who's like 20 years younger than that man, was able to step up for women who are not part of his family and said, I'm going to jump in the line of fire. I'm going to try to get this information out of Luna. I'm going to be the one to help put her in jail. Not Luna's daddy. He just over there at his own house and rubbing Steffi's shoulders to make sure that she's okay and she's comfortable and everything. Being a great house husband.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, like, you make Vernon look more like a man. He really does. He should have been the one to step in. He should have been with the wire, and he should have been making every day should have been a phone call to the police to protect his wife. Like he keeps saying, he's going to protect Steffi and his family and his kids. But this is also the same man who Luna came into the house, was just sitting in the kitchen. He's talking to his son, knowing that she's there. Mm-hmm. Was she a threat then? Mm-hmm. You were just perfectly fine with her sitting there, and then your wife comes in, and then Luna is looking at you both like you're crazy. Like, hey, my dad, he could have kicked Luna out. He could have set different precautions. He could have been a man, point blank, and he hasn't been.
Well, I mean, here's the crazy thing. This girl, I honestly believe, and obviously this is written in a particular way, right? Mm-hmm. But just let's play it out on our side of the turf. Finn is the catalyst in this whole thing. He needs to manage the situation. She's running amok because her father is not there. And what Luna is not taking in consideration is that girl, maybe Steffi says, you cannot have a relationship with your daughter. But at the end of the day, Finn is a grown man. He could get to say, listen, I understand how you feel, but the only way we're going to fix this situation is that I got to manage my kid. Yeah. I got to manage this. And if Finn would be like, listen, you can't come to my house. We can get something in writing, supervised visits every Saturday from 3 to 6. I get to see you. We get to hang out. We get to spend time. That's all she wants. Something.
What I was trying to suggest, I think I was speaking with Keisha about this. I'm like, this man has a whole he has all these medical connections. And you guys keep saying that she needs to get the help that she needs. So you're talking about mental institution. Get that girl into a mental institution to where she can't leave, and you go there and you visit her. You at least know where she's at all times.
Thank you.
You got the medical connects. I don't understand, like, why he hasn't made any effort besides calling Chief Baker at the last minute.
He don't want to do nothing. You talking about bats and stuff under the bed. You gonna hit your daughter with a bat?
I'm like, sir, come on. Like, sir. I'm so over Finn. Angela Atkins said Finn is afraid of Steffi will take the children and leave. This woman, and that's the other thing too. Steffi is always like, had no problem leaving this man over the simplest of things. I mean, keep in mind the reason why she got trapped in that cage in the first place.
Yeah, she had no business.
She didn't want to work things out with her husband over a kiss that Hope planted on him.
Yep.
And he was man enough to admit what happened. He wanted no parts of it. She up and decided, like, oh, I'm going to leave the country. And then she get herself trapped up in a cage.
Well, the other part is she didn't handle it right. When you saw a young girl kiss Bill, why are you chasing after her? You need to talk to Bill.
Exactly. Or she could have minded her business. A lot of things could have came into play, but that's Steffi's move. When she sees something she doesn't like, she has no problem running and leaving. She already left this man 3 times. He's more scared of Steffi than he is his own daughter.
Well, here's the weakness in the writing is that, I mean, honestly, with soaps, people move around. I don't know how many shuffling of the decks we've had over at Y&R. Why isn't Finn not moving around? He been with Steffi from day one. And granted, okay, fine, we need solid couples that last for a while, but it's a soap opera. Move this man around. Y'all done moved Liam around back and forth ping-ponging for the last 10, 15 years.
And
let him meet a sexy doctor in the hospital. And, you know, I'm not a proponent for cheating at all, because I definitely wouldn't want that to happen to me, and I'm not going to do it to anybody else. But in this soap opera land, you know, Steffi done already kissed Liam. That went under the rug for the past year and a half. Kept that a secret. Right when she got ready to have her last baby before she left, she stayed over at Eric's place. Sean coming downstairs with lingerie on up under there when her husband stuck at the house by himself, and Liam is over at the house begging and touching her hair and face and all this other kind of stuff. Y'all let her just move around like she wants to.
exactly. And having all these secret private conversations where Liam is trashing Finn and she's just okay with it 1 minute, and then at the last minute, like, don't talk about my husband. I respect, I'll give Finn some kudos that he's trying to be loyal to his wife. But in the very beginning of this whole thing, his wife was never loyal to him, which is why there was a whole paternity issue when it came to Hayes.
Bree, it's one thing to be loyal, but it's another thing to be wise, stand up for your family. There's no reason that a 20-year-old boy that's unrelated to this whole situation should have put his life on the line. You get your butt out there and go manage your kid.
Exactly. And everyone knows where she lives at. So you mean you couldn't go there at any point in time to see what's going on with Luna? See where her head is at? If you're trying to entrap her and try to get that information, you mean you couldn't step into the lion's den and try to get that information? You couldn't handle your business at all. Steffi just completely neutered you as a man.
Yep. Yet she can get to move around like she wants to.
She wears the pants in that relationship. And it's clear as day. The man was rubbing her shoulders at the table.
Right.
I'm like, they refuse to write Finn as a man of the house. They refuse to do it.
Smart. This man is what you would consider a high value man. This man is a physician. He got his own. He's spent years in medical school, got his money and everything up, and he's spineless.
He is a great value department store type of a husband, because Steffi barely has a man who's going to protect her, in all honesty.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there should have been precautions. He should have thought for his family. And I'm like, they keep bringing up the fact that, oh, she unalived 2 men and she put Steffi in a cage. Okay. And if she's running loose, you would think, me personally, I would do more than just sit around and leave my door unlocked for her to just walk into my house.
Mm-hmm.
Every chance she gets.
This thing is escalating out of control, because the one thing that can kind of, what's the word I want to use, dial this situation back is connection and just communication with this man and his daughter. That's why she's crashing out. She's crashing out because she has no access to her father.
And he could dangle the bait
Thank
and say,
you.
like, hey, let's have a conversation. Just you and me. Steffi doesn't know, or like he could pretend, he could say whatever to this girl. She would believe it. She would hang on to his every word. He could be in control of this whole situation, and he chooses not to do it
Nope.
because Steffi has his manhood.
Yep. You're absolutely correct. Or no, I won't say she has his manhood, Bree. I would say he allows her to.
She surgically removed it.
Yeah,
And
but you gotta give him some responsibility in this, because you cannot
absolutely.
you cannot be that afraid of your wife that you can't manage a situation that's out of control because it's your kid.
Yes.
It's out of control. All this can be mellowed out if Finn figures out a way to work out this situation with his own daughter. And if she want to leave and she want to act a fool, tell her to pick one. Either she's going to continue to terrorize our family, or I need to manage this situation. Pick one.
Exactly. But they allowed Will to be the man in this situation, and Katie could have ended up losing her son over something he wasn't even remotely involved in.
Because she really had backed off. I mean, yes, she was texting Will or whatever, but it wasn't a situation like coming at Steffi. Those are two totally separate things. Her having an interest in this boy versus her trying to target Steffi. The biggest issue in this catalyst is not Will and Electra. It's Steffi and Finn. And so if you're going to want to stop all the threats, this girl keeps showing up at your house. You won't put now they have security, because I heard Steffi say, I don't want the kids to find out what's going on. Whatever. If you don't want all these issues with her showing up at the house and, doing this and doing that, you need to let your husband figure this out. And Taylor's so far up in Ridge's behind to not see the psychology of this.
Right. She has medical connects more than Finn. Could have got that girl into a mental institution. We know that she knows them.
Girl, she more worried about Brooke interfering in her relationship with Ridge versus helping her son-in-law figure out a way to manage the psychological issue that he has with his daughter.
And this further proves that they have carried on after the fact that they found out that Luna was pardoned. All these different events were able to happen ever since that girl was pardoned. They didn't care. Steffi's safety, Luna being a threat wasn't a concern for them.
And then she talking about, I don't want to think about Luna right now. Let's plan a wedding. The wedding is the best thing to happen during all this chaos. That's what y'all gonna do.
I'm like, girl, bye. Like, are you afraid for your life or are you not? Make it make sense. None of this makes sense.
The writing suck on this one. I'm sorry. If y'all are listening or listening to the replay, it sucks. Because if you're going... Now, it's one thing if Lisa Yamada is leaving, but from the way it looks based on that leaked script, she gonna be around for another 2 months. If y'all gonna keep her around, why do we need to go through all of this? We went through ups and downs with the Luna character since the end of 23.
Yeah.
She's already had an ex come and go. Where's RJ? Zende. Now we dealing with Will, and this whole thing that have been dragging on about who her daddy is for the last year.
Yeah, I'm. I and they went through all of this. Finn went through the whole DNA test and everything to tell this girl that he was her father, and then say like, "Oh, I don't want you in my life." What do you think this girl was going to do?
Exactly. What did you think she was going to do? You went and did, like you say, 2 DNA tests. Begged Poppy to death. Oh my God, is she my kid? You never told me. All this other stuff. You unearthed all of this only to pull the rug out from up underneath your daughter.
Yeah, this is just such a mess.
And
And you guys, I was gonna say like the people in the chat, they agree with this too. It's a bunch of mess.
I'm actually feeling I wish they could make a connection between Remy and Luna.
It seems like he really cares for this girl.
I mean, because he used to be after Electra. Now I guess that ship has sailed.
I guess he likes the bad girl. He's definitely fulfilling his young Mike Guthrie role.
That's exactly what that is, girl, ain't it?
I can see this boy helping her disappear too. It's the writing's on the wall. It's pretty clear who he is to Miss Luna.
I just wish that let things lay low for a while, and if they were going to bring her back, let her go and disappear for a minute, maybe pop up on the screen. I would rather for her to get them business wise, turn her into a business person. She worked at Forrester, maybe has a few secrets, starts, I know she's in that younger demographic, but the best success is revenge. I mean, the best revenge is success. Had them come at them in a different way.
I agree. Hey, Jenna. Yeah,
Hey, Jenna girl.
We started at 8 today. There's been a lot of really good comments. Like I was like laughing in my head. Bobby Wobby said Luna's the only person that locks doors on this show.
I know, right? Everybody had to knock at her door.
Melissa Spencer says Steffi carries friends, gonads in her purse. And to be honest, I think that's probably the new jewelry line too. Quiet as it's kept.
Shoot, Finn gave them to her.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not worth much apparently. And Mari said Miss T and Miss Bree is all a rewrite and repeat again, something but different characters. Yes, this is the same rewrite when it came to like the Sheila saga from years ago too. It's rinse and repeat. And Angela Atkins says the writers need to finish the Luna storyline now that it's even starting to not even make sense anymore. Yes. Ever since she came on to the scene, and then they were playing around with the whole idea of Finn being a father. I knew it out the gate that he was, but just the fact that they dangled this whole thing and they completely changed this character, and now she's literally boxed in to where she could have little to no redemption unless it's like a medical storyline. They've changed so much, but just a bunch of.
They should have wrapped this up last year. They
Yeah.
drug it along, and granted, I know they obviously wanted to give Lisa some content, right? Because she's a great actress. But this who's the daddy thing, they didn't have to bring on these 2 guys to have them unalived and all of this, and now here where we are. They should have just, when Poppy gave Finn that look back at the end of January of 2024, they should have just opened and closed that up back then.
I agree. But they also needed a villain on the show since they gave Sheila redemption. And yeah, Jenna, I do think they redeemed Sheila because she's the voice of reason for Luna, of all people.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's her genetic spawn right there.
Because old Sheila would have teamed up with her.
Oh yeah, they would have came together with a master plan. She wouldn't care about what Deacon had to say about her grandchild. Nothing. And it makes me wonder, did she help her get that apartment? Because remember, Sheila said that she's going to help her get a place. I'm like, how did this girl, without a job, get a whole apartment in LA?
Right. I agree.
I'm like, okay. That didn't make any sense. But Ridge and Taylor are still sitting over there at Eric's house. Okay, right.
Right. You give her an apartment, but you sit them over. Yeah. Girl, please.
This doesn't make any sense. But yeah, they made Sheila the voice of reason in trying to protect Steffi now. So they completely changed that character too. Maybe they're saying like 30 years of crimes. Like, you deserve to take a break.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe it was Kimberly's idea to be like, you know what? Let's just kind of ease up on the villain thing. I kind of want to stick around, but I kind of want to keep it light.
Exactly.
So, that was pretty much it this week.
Yeah, I think we saw.
I mean, obviously, we saw the gunpoint at, the teacher at the beach house, and Steffi coming over there, and we'll probably get the rest of this week.
Yeah, and tomorrow's gonna be Liam. And because CBS, they revealed a clip from tomorrow's episode. I think that was a glitch on their part, but I've seen it already. So it's on YouTube. You guys watch it. But they had Liam and Hope in a scene, and he's not taking his treatments. So I'm like, okay. And Dr. Buckingham is back. And we see Finn at his job, but not trying to protect anybody at his house. I'm like, okay.
Jenna says Liam is not dying. He's going to take that new medicine. I don't know. They need to figure out what they're going to do with him. I mean, if they're... Go ahead.
I was going to say, I think Luna's going to be his miracle cure. How? I don't know. Maybe she has like a special rare blood or something. I don't know. She's going to give up one of her organs, something.
It could be a possible, but what? He got a brain thing going on. What's she going, what? You know what I'm saying?
Well, brain, I don't know. Something. But I feel like she's either going to be his miracle cure or something, because that's the only way that girl's going to get redeemed. Because if he's not willing to, because according to Dr. Buckingham in that clip, that he's not taking any of the treatments. He doesn't want to take them. So he's going to eventually probably pass out somewhere, kind of like what Scott Clifton was saying. It's going to come up pretty soon.
I wish that his statement's right. I'm just not feeling I like Lisa Yamada, but everything else around on Bold, it's just not an interest to me. I mean, I talk about it, I'll recap it. You know what I mean? But to say, like we were saying, Y&R has been pretty good with how Kane is moving. It's interesting. And the fact that he's flipping the script on all of the major players and they don't know what's going on. And, I like that. Bold.
And granted, granted, that is like one big gigantic storyline, but at least it's making some sense over on Y&R.
And it's annoying some of the people that we are enjoying it annoy.
Yeah.
Like Lily and Devon. And him getting one up on Victor was amazing.
on everybody. I'm like, stake your claim. I'm very proud of Kane. But
Yeah, so I'm excited about this, but this here, I mean, Taylor and this whole proposal, pathetic. I'm not saying, I mean, me, myself, I can't say I would be interested in proposing. I'm not saying women can't do it, but it's just not a thing for me. But with her
and that man
and that guy, that's the problem. You just got left at the altar less than 2.5 years ago by the same man you proposing to.
I wouldn't give this man a ring from a gumball machine. Nothing. He's not getting anything up out of me. This man has left her at the altar at least 4 times. I may have it wrong. I know the Sophie's is going to correct me. It's probably more than that. But 4 that I can actually recount.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't get not 1 ring out of me.
I just don't understand why Bold is making Ridge the focal point between these 2 women. And it's been the same thing for so many years. Y'all brought how many different Taylors? 3? And in each scenario, it all circles back to Ridge and Brooke fighting over this man.
Yeah.
And Brooke usually win out in the end.
And he always leaves her at the altar for Brooke. Like, didn't he take off on a horse for Brooke or something like that? I'm like, Taylor, at some point, like both of the women, they're both guilty of it. This man is not worth anything.
I mean,
nothing like that.
Bill has approached Brooke over the past few years, and now we got Nick in town is saying, listen, I'm here, and you got available dudes that want to be with you or wanted to be with you, and you still are fighting over a man who accepted the proposal, who might not be sure, which makes it even worse, but he accepted a proposal, and you telling him, end the engagement and come back to me. It's just crazy, and they're at this stage in their lives still doing this with the same person.
And my thing is, they've each had their turn with this man over a course of their adult lives. Like, what more can you gain from being with this man at this point? Nothing's going to change, and he's made it clear that he doesn't want anything to change. He likes who he is. He's very set in his ways. His father even knows that. His father was a whole flip-flopper. So I'm just saying, this is who Ridge is, and you want to propose to this man and give him a ring, and you got Brooke on the other side telling this man, well, drop your engagement and come back to me. I've been waiting for you this whole time. Like, both women are pathetic.
I'm just wondering why they do this. Is it because there's a long time standing fan group of folks that are Bridge fans, or Ridge and Taylor fans? What is it that they keep doing this over and over and over and over and over again?
They should just be sister wives and call it a day. You have your turn Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and then Taylor gets her turn on the tea days, which is Tuesday and Thursdays, and give her Saturday, and then you get Ridge Sunday all to himself so he can pray and repent.
I mean, at some point they realize this whole thing with Steffi, Liam, and Steffi, Liam, and Hope was time for that to end. I thought maybe. Go ahead.
I think the actors collectively were just tired of it.
I don't blame them. I don't blame them.
Like, they wanted to move around and shake and do something. I mean, granted, we got to see Steffi in a solid relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Even though the man that she with has no manhood, she surgically removed that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got Hope, who's been loose like a goose, and she's with Carter now, but even that marriage proposal was pathetic. We've had 2 pathetic marriage proposals in 2025 thus far.
It's just not interesting. I mean, like I say, I'm liking the villain era of Luna, but everything else is that whole Taylor and Brooke and Ridge thing is just insane at this point. It's like, why? You're making the writing of it makes the women look pathetic at this point. Y'all been doing this for almost 30 years. 35. Who knows? Y'all been doing this way too long. And so at this point and at this age, these are grandmas. And these grandmas are fighting over that man.
And this actually goes to Bobby Wobby's comment that the storyline should be for younger actors. These women have fought over this man in the 90s to 2000s to 2010, present day.
Mm-hmm.
And you not done yet? Like, it couldn't be me. Could not be me. That's just all I'm saying.
And they got available guys. You could have gave, I think you mentioned this, Jack, the one that when they brought him back to town, Finn's father.
Mm-hmm.
Why not put him with Taylor?
Yeah, we could have saw a little love, because they love triangles on the show. A love triangle between Jack, Lee, and Taylor.
They won't even give Lee a man.
Boy, that is a crime within itself. And me personally, I was hoping that she would get like with Justin or something to help her unwind and not be so uptight. Like if she got her a little something, that might put a smile on her face.
Girl, listen.
Brighten up her day.
There's available men and women on this show, and they're not utilizing. They just rather have Taylor. Y'all brought Rebecca Buddick to come over here to fight over, have Taylor, quote unquote, and Brooke go at it again. Krista Allen just did that 3 years ago.
And what does that leave her with when Ridge goes back to Brooke eventually?
Girl, another broken heart syndrome.
Lord, I mean, and that's another thing too. You gonna propose to the man that gave you the broken heart syndrome too?
The girl thought she was dying. You hear me?
Lord, have mercy. And I'm like, what is Ridge working with? What is he doing to these women? And that's a genuine question. Like, because I don't get it. He is no Joey over on Beyond the Gates where he got Vanessa not walking the next day.
Right.
He ain't doing
Ooh, girl. When she said she couldn't hardly walk the next day, oh my goodness.
That's what Brooke needs over there. Could you imagine bringing Joey over there or bringing Brooke over to Beyond the Gates and so she can get with Joey and she not be able to walk the next day?
Mm-hmm.
Ridge couldn't compete with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, or why not bring a little competition for Ridge? Some guy Taylor's met, she's been meeting for coffee or something. Again, I don't condone the cheating. But Waffle King, Pine, as you used to call him, Pine Cone Poppy. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
no.
He still is.
She said he still is. All right, guys, we're going to keep it moving. Let's go ahead and do our final segments, girl. We could talk about the craziness on Bold forever.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's do our Flip the Script. And for those that are new to the channel, our Flip the Script segment is if there's any particular scene or storyline that we wish we could change, this is where we flip the script. So what you flipping on Y and R?
I wish somebody would chin check Lily for the way that she's like behaving over there. I did not like the fact that Sharon was like, "Oh, you're going through so much out of all of us. Like, are you okay?" There needs to be someone who can check her and say, like, "So Kane wanted to tell you this information and you don't want to get it, but you want to sit there and complain about how this man became a billionaire without you."
Yeah, I love that part of this. As much as I like the Kane storyline, that part right there just don't make sense to me. It just doesn't.
Like, get over yourself. Like, lady, this man wanted to sit down with you several times and you didn't want to hear what he had to say, but you're going to stick around because you demand to get information. You could have been and had it 2 days ago.
Well, here's the other part of this is that not only did he make a fortune, but he wants to get Chancellor back for her. You wanted that company so bad. You wanted to run it so bad. Your ex-husband made a fortune, and now he's willing to buy said company and give it to you. What's the problem? What's the problem?
Yeah. Apparently, because it's not her money, that's no longer her man.
Well, she's complaining about the fact that why he kept it a secret. Do he supposed to wear a neon sign up and down the street and through General City that he's a billionaire?
He don't owe her nothing.
Y'all not even in the same. Y'all not even relationship. What she should be concerned about is the fact, did you get it legal? You got it legal? Okay, cool.
Then
the kids are taken care of. Plus, here's the other thing, Bree. Even though that's a name that he used, an alias or whatever, technically that's what a trust is. Think about it.
Yeah.
When you take your corporations, your businesses, or even a car and get it out of your name and create a trust and put it in there and it's named Arabesque or under doing business as Aristotle Dumas, Business 101, you could technically call it a trust.
Exactly.
She's so dumb.
Yeah, she is. She's not the brightest one, but oh wow.
That's why
he wants that back, I guess.
But think about it. The first conversation that Victor had with Kane is why Victor could respect it, because it makes sense. Business person to business person, it makes sense. Now, he wasn't going to sell him Chancellor, but he was like, "Oh, I don't see nothing wrong with it. You took the money that your dad sold his property and you put it in a cryptocurrency investment, and then you decided to use the money to invest it into other businesses to grow it even further." Did you see Victor get pissed off about that? No, because business people understand business. Devon don't understand nothing, and he's a billionaire. Okay.
Devon is a Kane and Taylor. Okay.
Oh my God, he's just a Kane and Taylor. Anyway, girl, I know we'll get into a whole nother tangent. Were you finished with your flip?
Oh yeah.
Okay. My flip on that one would have been, I mean, I know Amanda went hard on Devon, but I want some cat clap back. I need somebody to tell somebody off, because at this point, it's like somebody need to bring up the fact that Kane did give Devon his money back.
Yep, exactly.
You have a problem with... Go ahead, I'm sorry.
There need to be a whole receipt book thrown at him.
Exactly. Somebody needs to bring up the fact that y'all keep talking about this man carrying on a lie when this same man was the one that gave you your fortune back.
And he didn't have to.
And he didn't have to. He could have let his daddy ride off into the sunset with that money, and Now that Colin passed on, who's to say that that money that Colin took might have been under Kane now, but he gave it back to you. Nobody says anything about that. Anyway, flip on bold, girl. Wait a minute. Jenna said they mentioned it.
Mention what?
Jenna, they mentioned what? About the fact that he gave the money back? When did they mention it? She said all of it. They mentioned all of it.
Oh yeah, they if she's referring to the Devon's billions, yeah, they gave that back. But I think what T was saying that Kane didn't have to help out with the situation. He and his dad could have kept the money for themselves. Mm-hmm. He had decided to help out Lily's brother because he loved that girl that much and was trying to do the right thing. And Devon is acting as if he had no clue. Well, actually, no, he doesn't really. He's acting like he didn't care that Kane basically put all his billions back in his pocket.
Right. So what I guess I'm saying, Jenna, because I know she continues to say they did mention it. Devon is being really ungrateful right now. This man could be in the pole house on the street if it wasn't for Kane getting his money back. And he's acting all stank. And his sister knows this too. And she's acting crazy herself, even though her children are set for the next several generations.
And crying over nothing.
This is dumb. Anyway, flip on bold, girl.
My flip would have been I would have loved for Taylor to really throw it in Eric's face a little bit more, that she and Ridge are engaged, and say, like, can you make my dress for me? How about we have the wedding here in the house? Why don't you be the officiant at the wedding? I would have loved for her to really rub it in Eric's face.
Right. Jenna said flip the whole show of bold.
For real. I agree with that.
I just wish that Luna's anger was directed at Finn more than it is at Steffi. Because
yes, I agree with that
as
too.
much as Steffi may be saying you cannot have a life with her, you cannot have a relationship with her, Finn needs to say, well, in order for me to I got to step up and handle the situation. This is my problem. This is my kid. I got to deal with it. Take it or leave it.
Or ask Steffi for his manhood back.
Yep. I mean, Finn got to step up. There's no, like we said earlier, there's no way. Katie's son, Will, was more of a man to jump into this and stand up to try to get this situation taken care of over Finn.
Yeah.
That boy could have lost his life over y'all mess because her father couldn't figure out this situation and how to manage it. Okay. That's my flip for bowl. Who's taking seats on Y&R?
Oh, goodness. There's so many to choose from. I think we're both going to... Lily's in her permanent seat, first class. And Devon, he can get the other one. And trying to think of who else. I think definitely those two for right now, without question.
Yeah, Lily definitely. Lily, Devon need to take a seat. I'm trying to think of anybody else. Those are the main two on Y&R.
Yeah, I would say for tomorrow's episode, Mariah definitely gets a seat.
Okay.
Just say what you did, girl. Come on.
Oh, yeah. Jenna say Abby, too. Abby definitely needs to take a seat. Trying to get jealous over a conversation Devon had with Amanda. You jealous? On how, especially how the two of y'all got together, but you said, "Do I got something to be worried about?" Girl, bye. Yeah, she need to take a seat too. All right, seats on bowl, girl.
Um, Besides the writing, I'm I'm gonna give Steffi and Finn their seats. I know Keith's not gonna agree with it, but I'm gonna give them their seats because that boy should never have been in any position to be the protector of their house. Like even if that boy were to suggest this, they should have said absolutely not. No, this is our problem, our issue. We need to deal with this.
I'm gonna give Will a seat for trying to put his life on the line for his little girlfriend. I'm like, boy, if you don't go sit down somewhere, your mama's trying to tell you to go sit down somewhere.
And that girl is not even remotely worth that at all. You've been with that girl for what, a couple of months? Stop it.
Yeah, cut it out. Like you said earlier, that ain't even your wife.
That was just foolish on that boy's part.
It sure is. I was on, and I'm normally not on Katie's side, but I was on Katie's side on this one.
Oh, absolutely. And that's how bad it is that we on her side of all things, because she'd be wrong most of the time.
Exactly.
But this is further reason why this is a boy trying to be impulsive, trying to save the day, put his cape on, like his daddy on the other show. But this was not his place. This is why it needed a man to handle this.
Yep, I agree. All right. We probably got the same type of seats. I mean, obviously. Let's see. Star of the week. Y&R.
On Y&R, I guess I'll continue to give it to Billy Flynn.
That's what I was gonna say.
I'm loving it. Really am.
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say him. What about Bo?
Lisa Yamada is just. This is a villain. She's given her own spin at a villain. I can't imagine her playing a good girl after this point.
Girl, even her facial expressions, when they had that camera in her face, she knew exactly how to look in those moments. Perfect. All right.
Okay, and the one said Amanda Sinclair. I'll give it to Michelle Morgan too. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. I will agree with that. All right, pickle of the week. Y&R.
Lily, Miss Sourpuss, crying over nothing.
I agree with that. I agree. I'm totally on board with that one. Lily is just, she's annoying. Devon is too. What about for Bold?
The sister wives.
Yeah, I was
Brooke
gonna
and
give
Taylor.
it to Taylor. That whole thing with this proposal, and you know she's insecure. I don't care what she's talking about. You popped that question because of how Ridge reacted when Nick came around Brooke.
Yeah.
That's why you did it.
I gave it to Brooke too, because they both one and the same. One is no better than the other. They're both idiots. They're both stupid. They're both grandmothers fighting over this broken record. So, it has shown no loyalties to either one of those women.
Nope. What about let's see, that's our pickles. A Simp Olympics.
Who man, we have some contenders. Bronze. I'll give bronze to Taylor because there's other people who are caping.
Mm-hmm.
I would give Billy silver for going along with Sally's threats about a company that she didn't put not one dime into. Gold. That's where I'm stuck between gold and platinum. I'm gonna give gold to Kane because he's doing all this for Lily, and she doesn't deserve any of this.
Who's your platinum?
Finn.
I was gonna give it to Will because this boy about to put his life on line for his girlfriend.
Actually, perfect. I agree with that. Finn will get an honorable mention.
Finn definitely gets an honorable mention, but for Will, it made it sound worse because when Katie says, "You doing all of this? You don't need to do all this for Steffi Forrester." He was like, "I didn't do it for Steffi Forrester. I did it for Electra." I'm like, that's not a flex, okay?
Nothing. Like he earned his place at the top, which is, hey, good for him, I guess. Electra is still not going to give him any, but hey, he's going to risk his life.
That's right, because she's holding on to her V card. So
I'm like, he in desperation to try to get that. So hey,
girl, I guess having a bullet hole in him, he think that was going to be enough to, get him some. I don't know.
It would get him some cuddles, but that's just about it.
That's about it. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing for Electra to hold her honor. Absolutely, But the fact that this man is about to put his life on the line for something that technically have nothing to do with you, it wasn't that type of threat. And first of all, Electra came to Luna. Luna was minding her business at Il Giardino. She brought her narrow behind over there for somebody that's supposed to be scared.
Thank you for bringing that up. That was another thing, too. You're going to risk your life for this girl, and this is the same girl who was Pokey the bear, not once, but twice.
Yep.
Okay, Will. All right, then. But, yeah, this was very stupid on this part. So he earned a platinum medal. Yay!
Yeah, Devon gave it to him. You see it in the chat.
Thank you, Devon. Thank you. This was well deserved. Really, I hope he learns his lesson, but something tells me no, especially since he was saying, like, I'm going to be the one to put her in jail. I'm like, okay, Lord. Jesus.
I would say, even though he has platinum, I got to throw Brooke up there in one of those top second or third or whatever because
she can share it with Taylor.
Yeah, just the mere fact that this man is now technically engaged, and you said, in the engagement and come back to me.
That is just, she needs a joy in her life. If she had joy from Beyond the Gates, she'd be whistling a completely different tune. If they were to get Taylor a different contender, get her Doug or something. Give her, I'm trying to think of another man for her. Give her Derek from Beyond the Gates or something.
I know, right?
Give her something young and fresh. Anything but both these women fighting over Ridge.
I agree. I'm just over that whole triangle. It's old, it's tired, it's rinse, wash, and repeat. Can we move on and do something different? Move these folks around. Nick is in town. Bill is still on the table. Bring Jack back. Bring Justin back. Bring somebody instead of these two women orbiting around Ridge Forrester.
I agree. This is rinse and repeat. And it's dingy at this point. Got holes in it. Who wants that?
Exactly. It's just tired. It's like, oh, here we go again. These two women begging and fighting to be with a man who can't make up his mind.
At all. Dewan, Bill Hamilton for who? Brooke or Taylor?
I know, right?
Give these
Neither.
women give these women options.
Mm-hmm.
They have no options besides Ridge.
Right. So.
Give Ridge Nicole from Beyond the Gates. Give something.
Yeah, Hazel McCoy said the Will plan was dumb. You are absolutely correct.
Yeah, and Will would be great with Chelsea. They both stupid and dodo in the head. They would fit each other perfectly well.
You silly.
But she plays for a different team, so.
All right. Let us end it right there. Thank you guys for coming in on this midweek Wednesday. Like I said at the beginning of the show, and I know people like Jenna, she came in toward the end. If you missed the first half of the show, you can always hit replay to catch the conversations that we had. The reason that I did this show tonight is because of everything coming up with the 4th of July being on Friday. And there's a lot of folks that are traveling. I think one of the, the soapies in the chat is on their way out of town with the meet the in-laws. And so a lot of folks have some stuff going on, including myself. My sister's barbecuing. And so, we're headed over to the family event on Friday. I got to make a banana pudding. So I got to take that over there. And then tomorrow we're going to hit some local fireworks and hit Thursday tacos and things like that and do a little shopping and stuff tomorrow. So I figured Thursday and Friday will be busy. Saturday is still part of that holiday weekend. So I wanted to at least have some conversations with you guys in regards to what has happened so far on the soaps. We did not have Beyond the Gates this week. We'll have it next week on the week of the 7th through the 11th. So
I can't wait.
I know. I'm looking forward to that. But in the meantime, I wanted to touch bases with you guys. I didn't want us to go this whole week or weekend without us coming together, talking about what's happening on Y&R and The Bold and the Beautiful. So I hope you enjoyed our early show. We didn't really get to talk about the spoilers because, we talked about the Thursday episode of Y&R because it is out. So if you're in Canada or if you've seen the day before episode on one of these platforms, enjoy. It will be sad with Cole leaving. But I have no idea what Friday, the cliffhanger episode, will hold for both soaps. I'm assuming it'll probably have a lot to do with Luna on Bold. We'll see what that culminates. And the situation on whether Adam would probably end up in Nice by the end of the week. So we'll have to wait and see. All right. So hit that like button on the way out. And until next time, have a safe holiday weekend. Enjoy yourself. Be safe. Or if you're just chilling out at home, relax and enjoy the time off work. And until then, we will see you guys next week. All right, Soapies?
Bye, Soapies.
Bye.
Happy 4th.
Yep. Bye, guys. Be safe.